Welcome back to Town TV in the Dugout. We are with the gaffer. Chris, it's been a while.
It has, yeah.
Been too long.
Yeah,
been too long.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're back. Right, let's get into it. So, January, we've started off with two great wins, Skaggy and Winterton. And then we had a bit of a fumble last week.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with how we performed at Skegness and Winterton. It come off the back of a couple of bad results as well. So, it's just that consistency at the moment. We've got a tough game today against Nostell, who I think probably in the top two at the moment in terms of squad. They made a lot of good signings this week, in fact. And it's just consistency. I mean, you struggle as a manager when teams can go from really good to very, very poor, which I thought we were last week. That's nothing against Skegness. I thought they were great. Swallowness, sorry, they were great. But as a manager, you don't want inconsistency because you can't manage it. If you get a consistent poor performance, you can put things in place to try and be better. If you get a consistent high performance, it's great and you can try and take it to the next level. So when you don't get that consistency, it's a dangerous place to be, and we spoke about it. And hopefully we trained well in the week, and the lads are really motivated today, which probably I think is against one of the toughest teams in the league.
Yeah. So 28 goals conceded, but we are the fifth best defence in the league. What do you put that down to?
I think it's we've kind of in the last kind of 6 or 7 games we've changed the shape a little bit. We've had somebody who's just in there protecting the back four, so that helps because it kind of cuts the balls into feet for the strikers, and it makes us look a lot more solid. Anyone drifting into that hole where we've been exposed before, they naturally pick up, and the defenders can cover a bit more effectively. I think we're working harder when we haven't got the ball, and our shape's pretty good, and we're looking after the ball as well, as daft as that sounds. You know, we're looking after the ball a lot better. We're playing a lot more straight passes, a lot more shorter passes. We've shortened the game a little bit, and it just takes the impetus off the ball going backwards and forwards all the time, and where we've looked vulnerable. So better shape and hard work really is kind of why we've improved so much.
I think the thing for me defensive wise, I mean, we've had Billy Wright come in, who's done good, then unfortunately got sent off. We've had Bebo, usual high standard. He's had to play at left back quite a bit. We've had Tom Gladwin come back in, which is good to see, and then we've had this quiet young 19-year-old come in, Aaron Boville.
He's been tremendous. You know, he's been great. Nothing affects him. He looks to play. When he gets chance, he looks to pick a pass rather than just clear his lines, which is important. And he's pushing Rich and Stu really hard at the minute, and for a lad of his age and his experience, he needs an enormous amount of credit for that. He's been great since he's come in.
So league, we're 8th.
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah, very. Yeah, I think so. I think you can get a bit too down when you don't play well. It was a bad weekend last weekend. I don't mind losing football matches, but when I think effort and carrying out and the execution of the game plan from players, I think I've got a big problem with that, and a bit of a sleepless night Saturday night. But really happy with where we are. We've got to be important. It's important to us as a group that we don't get too high when we win, and ultimately when we lose a few, because we're not quite the finished article yet, it's important that we don't get too low about it. But I'm looking for a response today. Not so much in the result, because it's going to be tough, but I'm looking for a response from the players in terms of performance. We're going to hopefully get a few in. So I've kind of laid the gauntlet down for him. But 8th for us after 22 games is great, really.
It is. I mean, I was looking last night. You know, we've got 2 games in hand. We win them and we're 5th.
Steady.
Not yet.
No, you're right, and it's important. but it's important that those games need winning. It's you don't know whether the points are better or whether 2 games in hand would be great. We need to kind of claw that back soon, because we know of the farce that happens at the end of the season when you're playing 3 or 4 times a week. So we need to claw them 2 back, and we need to get some results from the 2 games in hand. But it's a funny league, isn't it? It's a funny league. You look from 12-14 up, anyone can beat anyone.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think it's a testament to the league that everyone's nicking points off each other. There's no runaway leader, is there?
No, there isn't. And with the promotion being points per game for the second spot, nobody from our league is currently in that position. It's crazy, really, with the standard of teams that are in the league. The weaker leagues across the level will probably end up getting promoted to step 5 rather than this really competitive league where there's 5 or 6 really good teams that could get promoted. So
who do you think could nick it then? Who do you think could win the league?
I think Campion's a difficult place to go. They've got points on the board. They've got a decent run in. For me, it's between 3 teams. It's between Campion, Hallam and these today. I think that these have just hit a bit of form at the right time. They made some good signings, so I think between the 3 of them, I can't see further than that, to be honest.
So we've talked about defence. We'll move up to the top. So 41 goals, we're 8th best scorers in the league.
Yeah,
that's not a bad return.
No, it's better than it was last year. I think that's what we've got to. That's all we've got to do year on year here. We set objectives at the start of the season, and we're on to achieving those at the minute. We're getting goals from a wide variety of players. It's difficult for me as a manager at the moment because we've got probably 4 strikers that are playing really well and scoring when they play. So managing the squad's been difficult, but the lads have. I tend to speak to all the lads before the game and explain to them why they're not playing, and every single one of them has been fantastic. I've made a couple of big calls today, but they've been great. They're all buying into it. But we've got a threat up front. We look good when we attack at times. So I'm really happy with that return, to be fair. Yeah,
I mean, I think we know Fez is our major threat, and last year I think we relied on him, but Danny Wood and Sav have come in lately and chipped in with some goals.
Absolutely important goals as well. Yeah. And I think that Danny Wood and Sav, I've said it in the dressing room, we've formed a really good partnership, and you can get carried away with goals. We can get carried away with one person being the focal point, but I think it's important that we've just mentioned out of possession, the work that those two put in helps us set a better shape. Yeah. And they seem to link up better together. They did against Winterton, they did against Skegness, and so we are. Yeah, we're looking like we've got a threat, and we're looking like we've got a bit of a pattern going forward. So it's good at the minute.
And I think Matty Ord, he's playing well, and on his days untouchable. I think it'd just be nice to see him nick a goal or 2.
Yeah, he's really Matt's. I've got I admire Clipston, and I've got a lot of time for Matty. He's one of the best players I've managed. Yeah. He's got these. We've not got many people who can carry the ball 30-40 yards and run with it, and he adds that to our side, so he's really important to us. We've changed his role a little bit. He's enjoying it where he is, and he's probably just missing that goal return to reflect his performance. Really.
Yeah, agreed. So one more, Ash Rawson. When's he going to score a 35-yard screamer?
Never.
Never.
What do you think? Not going to do, is it?
No chance. Sorry, Ash. No chance.
No, he's had a bit of a leg. He's come back and he's getting back to the levels that I expect of Ash now, which is all blood and guts and energy and breaking things up, and he's decent going forward. So I'm looking forward to how he kicks on now with the second kind of back end of the season.
It'd be interesting because I watched him against Nostell away, and I think he'd just come back and he was very tired. But last couple of games he's looked sharp.
He has, and I think the 3 in there for Nostell today will be the best 3 that they face this season as a midfield. I think they're organised. They're quite fluid, so they're all comfortable in different areas of that middle area of the pitch. So our 3 today have got a really big job to do, but I'm confident we can match them in there.
Good stuff. Just quickly talk about discipline. We are the 2nd best team for fair play at the moment. Yeah. Is that down to us just being? Is it just discipline on the pitch? Is it level heads? What is it?
I think we try and start it from. I think we have standards that we try and keep from the minute they kind of walk in. We expect everybody here on time. We expect to, they know when I'm going to start talking, so they're all ready, and it just sets the standards that we expect them to stick to. I think it's fair to say that we're very competitive at that. We don't. It's not around us not tackling or not competing. We've got a very competitive team, and we tackle, we rat, and I just think it's something that comes from the club, and something that hopefully comes from us as a management team, that we've really improved in the last 2 years since we've been here. So that's massively positive for me. We want a team on the pitch that can put a good product on, but we also want young people to come down and watch us and not hear foul language or see people losing the head and ill discipline. So really important.
Agreed. Great. So hopefully we'll get a good attendance today, but so far we have the biggest increase year on year on attendance, so you must be doing something right on the pitch because people are coming to watch.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, it's massive for me, that. I want local people to come down and believe in what we're doing. It's, we're good, we're a good organised team. Everyone behind the scenes is hard working. It takes a lot to do what we do on a Saturday, and we're all volunteers. There's no one here that's getting paid more than anybody else. It's a really important, it's really important to us that we get that out there and people understand what we're doing. And it's their club. Do you know what I mean? We're a town that's got a team at a really good level, really competitive level. And I'm delighted that people are just starting to get behind us, because it means the world to us, and it means the world to the players as well.
Definitely,
it's great.
Definitely. We've seen some managers go this season, surprising. Some of them, some have gone, not performed.
It's just short-term vision, isn't it?
It is.
It drives me mad, if I'm honest. It's just ridiculous. I think they sacked Rob Watson at Winterton when he were second in the league. I think they won the first 10 games, got furthest they got to at Vars, and then he comes out of the job because he loses 3 games. I don't know don't know some of these chairmen think, what they're trying to achieve. It's ridiculous, and then it's short-term vision, isn't it? That's what it is, and I think that's why it's great here. We've got a plan. We've got a great youth setup, you know, and it's a ongoing progression here. We're always looking forward. There's no quick fix. We're not looking to get promoted in 2 years or you know. So we're very different. But I just feel for people who put a lot of hard work in, and then after a few bad results or things you can't really control, you're back at home on a Saturday afternoon. So
yeah, great, sad. So just two final bits for me. If we continue our wins, do we think that Mike's going to get 10 in?
Never. Not a chance. Of course not.
I'll tell him that. And finally for me, I'm going to speak to this chap next. A word on Adam Brown.
Oh, so man, I've known Adam all my life, to be fair, before we had anything to do with Dronfield. It's been really tricky for Adam because before we came in, he ran the reserves as his own entity, and it was a separate team to the first team. So he's had a lot of change. He's had to go through a lot of change in terms of, we came in, we took three or four of his best players straight away because the club needed it, and then we've developed this reserves team into what it should be, and he's really bought into it. But at the same time, it's been tough for him because he's had a core bunch of players that have been taken away from him, and he's trying to build a new squad with nothing, if that makes sense, with a mixture from 19s who probably, some of them aren't really ready yet, which is no kind of detriment to them, and 2 or 3 of our lads when we've got 8, you know, when we've got 116. So, but the work, you know, for what he's done for the club, it's fantastic, and the work he's put in over 12 years is just tremendous, and I'm delighted that he's staying involved because he'll continue to be an asset.
Yeah, agreed. I've asked him to come and coach our under-13s.
Brilliant. That's great. You know, we need, you know, this club needs people like that.
Yeah.
This club needs people like Adam to stay involved because he's what we're all about. He's what we're all about, and I'm delighted that he is.
Yeah, agreed. So, good luck today, Gaffer.
Brilliant.
We'll see how you get on.
Thanks, pal.
Cheers,
All
pal.
the best. Thank
Well
you.
done.